Shalom, today is December 16th, and we're in day 437 of the war in Israel. The newspapers Yediot Achronot speak about the michsholim. Michsholim are obstacles, ha-michsholim ha'achronim, the last obstacles on the way to iskat chatufim, to a hostage release deal. The hostage families are between despair and hope. Ben yeush, despair, letikva, hope. Lo lashir af echad me'achor, do not leave anyone behind. But before we expand more about that, here's the cartoon of the day. Is the Minister of Justice, Yariv Levin, waking up with Boker Tov, good morning, what everybody dreads in Israel, ha-reforma ha-mishpatit, the judicial reform. Here's Frankenstein waking up, the symbol of everybody's worst nightmare. So the few first pages are about the judicial reform that's happening in Israel, the return of it. And really, the opinions are negative, and they're saying we may be approaching an attack in Iran. Actually, the calm in Israel is important, and this judicial reform can cause havoc within Israel, and it is counterproductive for us in Israel. In this photograph, we see Netanyahu with Levin, so it's the Prime Minister of Israel, with the Minister of Justice. And the headline reads, Ech lishchok demokratia, how to wear out democracy. The next headline, Betoch Eretz Radwan, within the land of Radwan. Radwan is one of the elite forces of Hezbollah that was fighting against Israel. So yesterday was the first time that the IDF allowed Israeli journalists to enter with them to South Lebanon for a visit, a tour. And Yoav Zaytun, the journalist here, is reporting. He's reporting of a tense quietness. He's reporting of, ruins, ruined homes, old and deserted cars. This is a mirror picture of some of the kibbutz and the villages on the Israeli side as well. He says one of the grocery stores, the local neighborhood grocery store, the products are still on the shelves. The cash register is half open, and there's a lot of tense quiet. He says on one hand there is quietness, on the other hand they know that the Hezbollah forces, including Radwan forces, are beyond the green scenery that's quite far from them, and they're getting ready. And they're saying, yes, even the Lebanese military is moving. It's moving quietly, it's moving slowly, but they're moving and they're preparing for the moment the ceasefire ends. In the photograph here, we see the ruins and the destruction in south of Lebanon. One of the key IDF generals that's in charge of the area, he says, the achievements this time are nothing to compare with the achievements the IDF had in 2006 in the Second Lebanese War. He says, this round, we took much more weapons and ammunition. We've assassinated many more commanders and terrorists, and we've destroyed much more terrorist infrastructure. There's nothing to compare to 2006. In this text box right here, it reads, "Hasiyur butza b'mechuvan le'or yom." The tour was intentionally done in daylight. This is to show operational control in the sensitive area in South Lebanon, to show this control to the Israelis that are afraid to go back to their homes, and also to show this control to the Lebanese citizens that are afraid of the IDF. On the right, we're reading about a concern, hachashash. The Syria effect may happen also in Jordan and in the Judea and Samaria area. There are two indications that are raising concerns in Israel. One of them in Judea and Samaria area is that terrorists, including Hamas terrorists, are having power struggles against the Palestinian authorities that are in charge of Judea and Samaria and supposed to keep the peace. And another indication is that the head of the Israeli security agency, Shabak, together with another head of the intelligence of Israel, they both had a secret visit in Jordan. This is probably because they're concerned of a similar effect of what happened in Syria will happen in Jordan and in Judea and Samaria. And if that happens, that will not be a positive thing to Israel. Israel will have to deal with a lot more threat. The key sentence is this. In the intelligence department of the IDF that so-called failed on October 7th, they're keeping their eyes wide open in Syria. They're not seeing the Shiite destruction as an end of a story, but actually they're looking at the new threats that are in Syria because the fall of Assad's government. Next headline regarding the hostages. ההתקדמות והפערים בדרך לעסקה. This article is about the progress and the gaps on the way to a hostage release deal. In the pictures, we see Or Rubinstein. She's the aunt of Bar, who is still hostage in Gaza. And here, Chagit and Robi, these are the parents of Itai Chen, still hostage in Gaza. Here's Dana Lifshitz with his grandmother, Yocheved Lifshitz, who was hostage in Gaza. They're holding the poster with the image of her husband, Oded Lifshitz, still hostage in Gaza. So the talks are continuing between Israel and Hamas regarding the hostage release deal. But the big gap is that Hamas is willing to release a fewer number of hostage from what Israel is demanding. And also, the names of who will be released are not settled. So Israel wants more, Hamas wants less, and the specific hostages are not final. The parents of the hostages are begging for a deal that will release all of them at once, including the ones in critical condition, including the older ones, including the soldiers, the females, everyone together. So we read that we're very close to a deal, and this subtitle says, Ein atid lamedina bil'adehem. There's no future to the country without them. Under the economy segment, there's an interesting initiative of a high-tech company that is promising Kol Haredi sheitgayes yekabel avoda. Every ultra-Orthodox man that will enlist to the IDF, he'll receive a job in this specific company named One. It's a high-tech company. Adi Eyal, the CEO, has come up with this initiative saying that many of the ultra-Orthodox are fearful that they won't get jobs after they enlist to the military because they're not educated. They know only the Torah. And also maybe they'll be rejected from their society. In this image, we see an advertisement in one of the ultra-Orthodox towns and neighborhoods saying, Ani matzhir, I declare, says the CEO, that we'll accept to work every ultra-Orthodox guy that will choose to serve in the military. And here we see a Jewish Orthodox guy, and here he is, the same one, with the IDF uniform on him. This is from the campaign that started yesterday. Anachnu mitchayvim, we commit to accept to our work every Orthodox Jew that will enlist to the military. So he says, I'm not an illusion that this will cause everyone to enlist to the IDF, but we want to give a safe ground for those who are enlisting to have a job promised for them afterwards. He says, I do not care what position they'll have in the military, for how long they'll serve in the military, but if they do enlist to the IDF, we will be for them and we'll be cooperating with a few other big companies in Israel in order to offer them jobs. And this is such a great initiative. We'll see where this goes to. This is all for today. I'm Rotem again, and for more news and updates with news that matters, follow us on allisrael.com and follow us on our social media as well. If you liked this video, please like it and share it with your friends. And I'm back from Switzerland, spending precious time with 10 female believing soldiers, believers in Yeshua, who have gone through traumatic events since October 7th. And it was a very special time of healing, and it is the beginning of a long process they'll go through with God, where God is the center of their healing. So thank you for your support and prayers. This is Rotem again for All Israel News.